Tabai Matson reckons Bath Rugby's topsy-turvy 3,431 win over Bristol was the perfect pre-season opener. In a contest played in quarters, they led 347 halfway through before losing the final two quarters 240. They scored some good tries and conceded some soft ones, but the fact there was a mixture of positives and negatives on display pleased the head coach. Speaking after the game at Clifton RFC, Matson said a couple of quarters went well and a couple of quarters were horrendous. There will be some good pictures for us to look at. For us, most importantly, we came through unscathed and some of the things we were working on in pre-season worked very well today, so I'm positive overall. Tabai Matson at Bath's 3,431 win over Bristol. Imogen Johnson taking pictures. Sport Limited. First three Bath Rugby United games will be played on weekends, not Mondays. The Mole went well and that's been a massive focus the last couple of weeks. Some of our defensive pictures were really good early on. At the other extreme, in the third and fourth quarter we hemorrhaged a bit. I thought we lost fluency as lots of numbers came on, but you expect that for the first hit out of the year. The grass is like a cornfield at the moment. The fitness was really pleasing. We endeavored to give everyone only 40 minutes. Some got a little bit longer and there was a bit more exposure, but it was the perfect hit out for us. Jack Walker on the charge against Bristol. Imogen Johnson taking pictures. Sport Limited. Bath weren't completely unscathed on the injury front. Tight head Sean Knight, who was due to start a game, tweaked his neck at the end of the training week. Kane Palmer Newport started in his place and was part of an effective front row unit, and was later replaced by versatile academy prop Sam Nixon. Three players made their first 15 debuts: Josh Lewis, who played the first 40 minutes at fly half before moving to centre, James Phillips at lock and back row, and academy back Will Partington came on as a wing replacement. Lewis converted 3 of the visitors' 5 tries and slotted an early penalty which, in the end, proved the difference between the two sides on the scoreboard. Josh went really well, Matson said. He's clearly going to be a 10 and play a little bit of rugby at 12, but I thought he did a really good job considering it was his first game with the lads around him. He did what was asked of him. None of the units really jump out at me as having a really fluid performance, but there were moments of really good things done. Josh Lewis kicks a goal on his debut against Bristol. Imogen Johnson taking pictures. Sport Limited. Our exiting was really good and the first half looked good on the back of some really clinical kicking from Darren Allenson and Tommy Homer from the back. After the early flurry of tries scored by Jack Walker, Zach Mercer, Allenson, Jack Wilson and Matt Banahan, Bath were pointless in the final 40 minutes. Recap: Bath Rugby beat Bristol Rugby 3,431 at Clifton RFC. They showed little in terms of precision back play as the game wore on, in contrast to their hosts who, under new head coach Pat Lamb, were expansive. Matson wasn't too worried though. We actually made a tactical call that we were going to try and play the game very close today, he said. Luke Charteris takes a line out. Imogen Johnson taking pictures. Sport Limited. We wanted to focus on our maul and focus on what happens when the maul collapses and our defaults from there. We were never really going to open up the game, but we'll definitely see that over the next couple of weeks. We'll be trying to get the ball to the likes of Rocco and Banahan and play our natural game on the counter-attack. Bath face Ospreys at the Liberty Stadium in Swansea on August 20th and Leinster in Dublin on August 25th before travelling to Welford Road on September 3 to take on Leicester Tigers in their first Premiership game.